Hi guys. So I had a sort of a realization the other day around my self-confidence. It kind of came out of the blue, but it's made me realize why I can be very argumentative, defensive, um, defiant, and well, defiance is multifaceted. But I realized that this sort of revelation about my self-confidence could explain a lot of that behavior. So this is kind of a weird story, but this is how it happened. I was going through Facebook and there was a thing, a meme, whatever you want. I don't know if it's really a meme, it didn't have a picture, just words. It said, I bet no one has these five things in their house anymore. And it listed, for example, CDs, paper calendars, a couple other things like that. And my reaction was, I don't like this. In the past, if you asked me why I didn't like it, I've said one of two things. I would have either said I don't like change. I don't resist change, but it has to be on my own time. I'm a late adopter to technology. I took a Netflix account in 2017. I do come around though, but I don't like being forced. So I would have said something like that, or I would have gone on about financial and environmental wastefulness. That's deeply ingrained value in me, probably because my mother grew up sharing bathwater. Um, so when you have to save and count every little thing, I think it becomes part of you, and she passed that on to me. Um, and she was a single mother at one point, not quite as poor as she was as a child, but definitely a lot of carefulness with money, keeping old things because they were still working. So that would be an explanation I might have given you in the past for why I didn't like that list. But for some reason that day that I can't really tell you why, I realized, I don't like this because it makes me feel like I'm being judged, like I'm told I'm doing something wrong. I still own CDs, I still buy paper calendars, and the reality is no one cares. I know no one cares. Um, but reading that, I felt like I had to defend myself and prove myself, prove that I'm doing it right. And I'm thinking, where is this coming from? Why do I think this? And I think there's a little girl inside me who is, or I should say, no, that's word weird. When I was a child, I was teased a lot and I felt left out a lot. I was frustrated and angry because I couldn't keep up with the other kids. Everyone else seemed to have better lives than me. It seemed like I was doing everything wrong. And that little girl, I think, even though I've had successes beyond what was expected, that little girl is still in there. Childhood things have a way of staying with you. Even if they're not really that big, to the child they can seem big, and they get stuck in your head feeling that big, you know? So I think that little girl is still in there, who still feels like she has to prove herself right. And it's because, not because, well, I don't like waste and I don't like change, but my reactions to that Facebook post was all about my confidence being poked at. Like, oh my god, I'm doing something wrong again. Um, and recognizing this, I don't think there's been any major changes as of late, but now that I recognize sort of why my self confidence is probably so low, I can start working on it. When I find the reason behind the behavior, that's when I can start working on it. So seeing that I'm constantly in defensive mode, because I think I'm doing it right, and I don't like the suggestion, and that's not even suggestion at all, but it becomes that in my head. Um, I don't really know where this is going to take me next. My therapist asked me to do the cliche thing of standing in front of the mirror and saying positive things about yourself. And I've actually expanded the list from 2 to 4 items. I can still give you a ton more negatives at this point. I'm still not seeing, I think, what other people see. But I have a reason now. I have a concrete goal to work on. I'm not that little girl anymore. You know? Nobody cares about every little thing the way children think they do. I can move past that now. We'll see where this takes me next, but it can only serve me well to build my self confidence. I don't need to become arrogant, but to not doubt myself so much will serve me better if I choose to pursue more of a career. Like at this point in time, it looks like I'll just find a job I enjoy, and I'm not going to pursue any like, career ladder climbing. But I think if I wished to, this revelation about my self confidence would uh, help me tremendously. Would allow me to try new things that in the past I would have been afraid to, and I'm excited to see where this sort of revelation leads. And I love the fact that I'm so aware of myself. Every therapist ever that's worked with me is always like, you're so in tune with yourself. You understand your own mind. I guess most people don't. I don't know. But yeah, so this is my new discovery, and I'm interested to see where it leads me. Thank you.